USMCA, el Tratado Libre es muy importante para nosotros, and he's going to speak also about the importance of the stability and the certainty that we need. And finally, the last thing is, look, we want security at the border. We want to work with Mexico, but we don't like the way ICE has been going after the work sites, the way that's affected our economy, the Valley, Laredo, and other places, and that hurts it. We need to make sure that ICE sticks to what they're supposed to be doing, and that is kicking out criminals out of the United States. With that, I'll have the mayor say a few words, and then we'll have the leaders speak. And then after that, just a few questions, and we got to go and start a parade. But anyway, Mr. Leader.
Well, first
Mayor.
of all, we want to welcome Mr. Hakeem Jeffries to our city. Very important that we're talking about what the reality is here, rather than the perception that's viewed in Washington. But the most important thing here is that we need to realize that Laredo is a major, important point to the binational relationship that we have with Mexico and the United States. This is the key to our commerce, the largest port of entry in the Western Hemisphere. Well, before the tariffs, I'd say, after they removed, hopefully we'll be to #1 again, like Congressman was saying. But the important thing about this is that we need to keep this message going. We need to portray it in Washington so they can have what reality is here versus the perception of the whole country. And we're glad to be the #1 port.
Leaders Jeffries.
Good morning. It's an honor and a privilege to be back here in Laredo with Congressman Cuellar, my good friend, a tremendous advocate for South Texas and for this great city, and to Mayor Trevino. Thank you so much for welcoming me and for your incredible leadership. These are challenging times, but this was a wonderful ceremony, a celebration of the binational special relationship between the United States and Mexico, anchored in a commitment to economic prosperity and the cultural connections that have gone on for centuries. We also, of course, celebrate Washington's birthday in the 250th year of the founding of our great country. Laredo is an incredible city, an international city, but of course, one that has been dealt a blow as a result of the tariffs that are impacting the economy all across the country, impacting businesses all across the country, and impacting consumers. Trade between the United States and Mexico has been, and will continue to be incredibly important. And through that lens, we want to make sure that as we approach the renewal of the USMCA agreement, that we tackle it with an understanding of shared prosperity for all communities, particularly as it relates to the people here in Laredo. We also believe that immigration enforcement in this country should be fair, it should be just, and it should be humane. We want strong, safe, and secure borders, and we will continue to support that. We also want to make sure that we lift up our heritage as a nation, both anchored in the rule of law, but as a nation of immigrants, as this wonderful city of Laredo has flourished and contributed so much, not just to South Texas, but to Texas and to America. So it's an honor to be here once again, and we look forward to continuing to strengthen the relationship in South Texas with policies that actually make life better for the people here in this wonderful part of the country.
Congressman Cuellar, the South Texas Business Association has been busy in D.C. trying to get the attention of the federal government in relation to the ICE enforcement that you were talking about just now. Do you think that group out of South Texas has made any inroads to get the attention of the federal government to see that the economic damage that's being done down not only in the valley but across the country?
Yes, and I think Leader Jeffries knows how important it is. In fact, we did have him up there in D.C. We did have a meeting with ICE, a very interesting meeting that we had with ICE. But I will tell you this: if you talk to Mario Guerrero, they would tell you that they have stopped, as far as we know, the ICE raids to the work sites in that area. It looks like maybe they shifted somewhere else, but if you talk to Mario Guerrero, as for 2 weeks since that meeting, meetings that we had, the ICE rates have stopped at the construction. I'm not saying it's not going to start again, but they need to focus on, ICE needs to focus on kicking out criminals, but not the good, hardworking people, especially in South Texas, where you have people that have no records, they have no criminal records, they're good people, they're working, they have families here, and they've been picked up at work sites, at Lowe's, or wherever the place might be. But it looks like, at least for 2 weeks, they have slowed down on the work site rates.
This administration, this administration promised to target violent felons who are here unlawfully, which is something the American people would support. But instead, what we've seen is that ICE is violently and brutally targeting law-abiding immigrant families and workers who are contributing to the economy in South Texas and throughout the country. We've seen even ICE brutally target and in some cases kill American citizens. And that's not acceptable here in this country. We want immigration enforcement that is fair and just and humane.
Speaker Jeffries, on that issue, where's the accountability for what we're seeing with ICE? I've reported at least 50 Americans have been arrested, detained. You talked about the murders. Where's the accountability with the federal government?
Yeah, one of the things that we believe needs to happen, and that's part of the discussion we're having right now in advance of the DHS bill moving forward, is that there should be independent investigations so that state and local authorities have the ability to investigate and prosecute violations of the law, particularly when you see everyday Americans, American citizens, or law-abiding immigrant families brutally and violently assaulted by our own government. That's completely unacceptable, it's unconscionable, and it's un-American. The only way accountability is going to take place is if we empower state and local authorities. Because unfortunately, this current Department of Justice, led by Pam Bondi, cannot be trusted to fairly investigate and prosecute violations of the law.
Mr. Congressman and Mayor, there's a protest over the wall down here. I know you hear it and you know what's going on back in the riverbanks. What you can say about it, Mayor?
Yeah, and it's a no border wall. They don't want a wall, but we can speak.
What I was going to say is Congressman Cuellar said so eloquently and powerfully during his remarks, we want to build bridges, particularly anchored in this long binational. I support the fact that we want bridges between our two nations. We want shared cooperation. We want enhanced cooperation. We don't want walls.
That'll be the last question. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Everyone.
Unas palabras
en español para nuestra audiencia en español.
Sí, nomás rápidamente, pues aquí estamos con el líder y con el alcalde. El mensaje del líder fue es que no queremos tarifas. Número uno, queremos el tratado libre que traiga el negocio otra vez. Y la otra cosa, cuando hablamos de ICE, que deporten a los criminales, pero no a la gente buena que está trabajando aquí en los Estados Unidos. Gracias.
Okay.